Recording.
Yeah, good.
Finally,
I see the button.
I see the button. So, why don't you walk me through your thinking on dinner so far? You're making
Okay, well, okay, so I've got Friday broken down by the hour, but the lead up to that, I'm trying to, the idea is to try and do as much in advance of the Friday as I can. So, but I don't want to shop too early because I want stuff as fresh as I can get it.
well. It's as the Buddha said, right? The truth is in the middle. So what you're going to
Okay.
want to do is find that balance of being prepped and being fresh and beautiful.
Right.
For example, scallops. I wouldn't want to buy scallops unless they're frozen. And why are we? Well, unless you buy them
Yeah,
frozen, I wouldn't want to buy fresh scallops Tuesday for Friday.
right.
Preferably, I'd buy them Friday for Friday.
So Friday morning is your best bet for the scallops.
Yeah,
Which,
I
of course,
also feel so. I would also. So some things like your potatoes, you could cut Thursday. Potatoes, you could even go as far back as Wednesday, as long as you keep them in water. The only thing you
okay.
got to realize is going to be less and less starchy as it leaches out. So you keep some of that
Is that a
potato
bad thing?
water to boil them in, so the starch goes back. Especially if you're doing mashed.
Oh, okay.
Right, that water.
Yeah, I was planning mashed, so I should. Okay,
Right.
good idea. I never thought of that.
Also, if
Okay.
you were to boil off all that water, you would have starch at the bottom. It's really neat water to keep sometimes if it's really starchy. It's the same reason why Italians put pasta water in the pasta, get the starch back. That's your flour, that's your roux, right?
Okay.
So sometimes even keep the water from a potato if it's been sitting 2 or 3 days. Just throw that in a soup and you get a little thicker without having to use a thickener. And
Thickener.
soups technically don't use thickeners because once you put a thickener in it, you don't have a soup, you have a sauce.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. So,
God, I need
okay.
plastic surgery. I need plastic
Don't we
surgery.
all?
Botox.
Or maybe just acceptance.
Yeah.
So along those lines of thinking, I was planning to do my shopping on Wednesday morning. So, go to the butcher, go to the vegetable store that I go to. So collect all my stuff. The one issue will be around cheese. That cheese shop in Gatineau is very nice, but I guess you could buy that cheese a week ahead and you'd be all right.
Oh yeah, you can buy it a week ahead. You also don't need to come all the way over to Quebec, although unless you want to.
Well, we've got some nice cheeses in that shop.
Yeah, but they're only Quebec cheeses, right? So
yeah,
the amount of time it takes you to get to here, you could also go to Kingston and get a whole round of beautiful Prince Edward cheese. Right?
this is true.
Where you are in Russell, Kingston's the same distance, right? And
well, not quite, but
absolutely fantastic. Kingston is a fantastic place to shop. Some of the
really?
best food in the country is in Kingston.
Really?
Yeah, beautiful stores in Kingston. Prince Edward
I didn't
County
know that.
is Prince Edward County is fruit, veg, cheese, and wine, right?
Life is good.
Fantastic.
We'll have
The
to keep
liquor
that
stores
in mind.
carry more Canadian wine because it's Prince Edward County.
Right.
Right.
We actually, my sister-in-law and her husband just moved there and to Belleville. So lots
Belleville
of
or Trenton, right?
yeah. So lots of took us out to a really nice winery, and there's all kinds of them around there.
Right.
So.
Right. But
okay,
but
so
if you go to Byward though, there are 2 very nice cheese shops in Byward. There's also the Glebe has a couple. Right?
Okay, all right.
try to find something that you like. And I think you should at some point visit all of them, because that's part of the exploration. And you
Yep.
will learn. Sometimes you might just want to, it's nice to get local Quebec cheese. It's Quebec cheese. Also nice to get local Ontario cheese. So,
Yeah.
and every once in a while, you know, you get a 12-year-old Emmenthal that's been caved age in Europe. I mean, yeah, so what if it's 35, 40 bucks, 100 grams? It's amazing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Right. So there's all kinds of places. Kingston has great butcher shops. You can go to Seed and Sausage for a lot of stuff. That's a Kingston company. They're right down here in Somerset. I mean, part of your exploration has got to be beyond Loblaws, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Loblaws is great. And I know it's hard now that it's winter because a lot of, you know, the markets are closed.
Well,
Here in
that's
Wakefield, if you were to come here to Wakefield, you know, there are people that forage for mushrooms and make a living here, right? And they sell it at, you know, so if you were doing a Duxelle and forage mushroom, well, it's just like, get me a sledgehammer and hit me in the head.
oh, really? That's well. If only I knew. Like, we have people who come out from the city out to our property and ask if they can pick mushrooms out here. So we got quite a few mushroom pickers that come out here and pick.
Well, you know what your
I
answer is next time they come out and ask? You
Yeah.
say, yes, but you're teaching me how,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Because
actually a good idea.
mushroom
Yeah.
picking is a very dangerous, scary thing, right?
Well, that's why I would never try it myself. I wouldn't know what I
No,
was
but if
picking.
they're an experienced forager and they know what they're doing and they're asking to be on your property, I'd say yes, but you're teaching me. Like,
Yeah, that's a really
what
good
do I
idea.
have on my property that I can eat?
That they
Because
want
they
to
don't,
keep
if
coming
they're
back.
foragers,
Yeah.
they're foraging more than just mushrooms, right? They'll know a lot of, you know, like dandelions, how to pick dandelions and use them. Wild mustard, trillium, you know, rams in the spring. Although it's illegal to pick in Ontario, wild garlic, right? The trillium's wild garlic in its bud
Oh, I
state.
didn't know that. Yeah.
When you go to the market and all the Quebec people are there selling wild garlic, it's trillium and they're allowed to pick it. You can pick it outside. Can't pick it on the Ontario side because it's against the law to pick it
Yeah.
because it's trillium.
Well, I have seen trilliums around here, but of course, you know, we don't pick them, but not a lot.
No, but you know, if you are going to start forages, again, this is subsistence eating, right? It's completely green. Anyway, I would be my, but there's nothing wrong with going to Loblaws either. And as you
Excuse me.
dig into Duxelle, as you dig into the Duxelle, I sent you a couple of links by email, just referencing it, Duxelle,
Yeah, I
and
saw
what
that.
it is. Don't forget that some people profess that for a beef Wellington application, you should be using dried mushroom. I personally don't like that because it's chalky, right? Because there's less water and it's easier. Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I truly feel just get the right mushroom and take the time, and you'll have a beautiful thing.
Okay. Because I do have quite a collection of dried mushrooms, but
Right. So use them.
mixture.
Rehydrate them. You might as well. There's nothing wrong with that. So build that into your plan to rehydrate them a day. And there's nothing that says you can't rehydrate them in a little, maybe a touch of brandy, maybe a little Amernic, maybe a mild liqueur that kind of goes with beef. You think about it. Maybe some veg stock,
Wow.
maybe some beef stock, maybe.
Anything but water.
No, if you're now,
Okay.
again, you're doing beef Wellington. So maybe the Duxelle in your mind is more of a texture, so it's going to be light. So you're going to get a bunch of white button mushrooms or crenini mushrooms, and you're going to keep it light in flavor as opposed to So it's a feel as opposed to a taste.
Overpowering, yeah,
Overpower.
overpowering the
I
rest,
personally
yeah.
would be going for the black.
So just to continue, I guess, with, and Wednesday afternoon is going to be my stock. And then Thursday morning, I was going to clarify the consomme. Is that too soon
No, that's perfect.
or, okay.
You can
And
even back
Thursday,
that up, right? Like in theory, you could do that now and freeze.
oh, yeah.
No reason why you couldn't freeze a consomme.
Well, if I did that, that means I could
See,
move
in
my
my mind,
Wednesday.
a consomme would be a regular thing in my pantry, right? In my freezer. So either consomme and or stocks, right? So whenever you get enough bones, make a stock, get it in the freezer, and get it in the, like you will be buying a freezer just for stuff, right? When you redo that kitchen.
Yeah, if that ever happens. Okay, well that might change things a bit then, because I've got like Thursday afternoon to prepare a pate if I decide to make a pate. I could prep my potatoes Thursday afternoon.